Hey, welcome to the video. I'm FreeFlow, and we're going to be watching a video today by the VTuber named Zekoz. And he's got a video for us entitled, Don't Start VTubing in 2026 Until You've Watched This. Then we'll have a recap afterwards to see what did we learn in this video and what we can take away to apply into our content. So let's get it.
This video will teach you 3 very important things that you need to know as a new VTuber.
Okay, let's get it.
Third lesson is something nobody
Knowledge. I like learning.
ever teaches you for some reason. Let's get it. First up, don't debut. Or I guess it would be more accurate to say, don't feel the need to debut.
Yeah, that's pretty good advice. I agree with that 100%. A lot of the people doing this or having the reason to do it is big corpos. So yeah, hot take. You don't need a debut anymore. It's kind of a waste of time.
The words VTuber and debut go together like a racer and a car, or Gooner and jar. Which makes sense considering the fact that all the big VTubers do it. The Hololives, the Nijisanjis, and even some big indies.
See, there you go. Big corporations or big indie VTubers. They have reason to. We don't.
But that's also the exact reason why you shouldn't debut as a VTuber. For everything to make sense, let me put things into perspective first. Debuts typically take a lot of time, a lot of resources, and a lot of money. The reality that every new VTuber needs to accept is that a big, fancy, expensive debut will never guarantee you success as a VTuber.
No, it's not about the model. It's not about a debut. It's not about all the fancy transitions and things that you have. That will not make you famous. It's your content. Why are people there for you? They gotta have a reason. So if you provide them with a good enough reason to stay, then you will grow.
If anything, it might even do the opposite. For big corporate VTubers like Hololivers, it's the agency who pays for the debut, not the individual. Or at the very least, pays for the important parts of the debut, which also tend to be the most expensive, like models, lore videos, and other essential assets like backgrounds and stream alerts.
Yeah, there you go. There's those things that everybody thinks that they need to have. And yeah, lore is good. Having a nice model is good. Backgrounds are good. Stream alerts are good. But don't spend all your time and effort and money into doing that. You got to figure out, well, what am I going to do first? Because if you spend all this time making these things, then you don't know what to do once you're finished with all those things. So that's important.
Naturally, the average person does not have the financial capital that a corporation does. So for those thinking of mimicking an agency VTuber, just stop, maybe. I'm
Yeah, don't be that guy, buddy. You're not that guy.
sorry to break it to you, but you're not an agency VTuber.
Yeah.
On top of providing financial support for their talents, agencies also handle a lot of admin and production work that goes on in the background. This is why
They should be doing work for you if you join an agency. But that's another topic, so we won't get into that. But yeah.
agency VTuber debuts are such massive spectacles. Because they have an entire team and corporation money to afford to do so.
Yeah, you don't have a team, you don't have a corporation, so why are you trying to do the same thing that they're doing?
In fact, this level of support is a big reason as to why people want to join agencies in the first place. But that's a topic for another video.
Yeah, and that's not necessary either. So, yeah, but like you said, don't want to get into that.
Because I have some thoughts about that. But with all that being said, don't let me or anyone else discourage you from having a debut if you really want to. If you can afford the assets and have the time and resources, go for it.
Yeah, why not? If it's not going to affect you financially, I mean, there's no problem. You shouldn't not do it just because, you know. But again, if it makes sense to, then yeah, sure. But also you have to think, who's going to show up to your debut? If you don't have an audience there to do that, well, then who's left that would be at your debut? Other VTubers. And can you expect them to stick around and be your audience? No, they have their own audiences to take care of, so don't expect them to stay.
Yet, if you can make stuff yourself, do it.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll do it myself.
Just know that you don't need a big production, because at
Yeah.
the end of the
Simple.
day, the purpose of a debut is to simply introduce yourself to your audience and get them invested in what you have to offer. Don't try to mimic the big corpos just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah. Your debut is just the beginning of your content. Just a hi, here's who I am, this is what I do.
when you're just a silly little guy. There's so much that you can do without needing to break the bank or your back, especially nowadays. But let me be completely honest with you for a second. If you don't have an audience to introduce yourself to, then a debut is not gonna be very effective.
There you go.
Is everyone?
So either build one before your debut or save your special debut for later when you do.
Yeah, content first approach is way better, and especially if people do come to do your debut. Ugh, English is hard. Sorry. If people do come to your debut, what's going to happen is they're going to want to have content to see, so that they don't just judge you off of that one video and then leave. If you have content, then they'll stay for a little while, perhaps, and actually be a interactive part of your community, a follower, a subscriber, or whatever else.
You have one. Also, people forget that pre-debuts are still a thing. This is how
A what?
I personally got started. I didn't have a proper debut until 8 months after I became
Oh yeah, I do remember people doing that. They had like some kind of Japanese voiceover video thing that they were like, "Oh, I'm this person. I like this. I like to eat that. This is my favorite color. This is who I am. This is kind of a story." Yeah. I forget exactly the words, but yeah, it was something else, yeah.
a VTuber. And while a debut does not equal success right off the bat, neither does money. Which brings us to our next lesson. You can't buy success. There's this mentality among some VTubers, especially the new ones. They assume that if they have the highest quality model with the highest quality assets and the highest quality equipment,
We've talked about this before in a couple other videos, and it just does not equal success. What equals success is you knowing who you're talking to and content to provide to those people. What's the value that you have on your channel? That's what people stay for, not the model, the content.
that viewers will just come flooding in day one and their VTuber career is bound for success. When
I wish.
in reality, it's quite the opposite. Spending thousands of dollars on models and equipment can still keep you at 0 viewers, except now you have a hole burned into your wallet. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have proper food to eat than live on cup noodles just because I spent my entire paycheck on a VTuber model.
Yes. But, cup noodles aren't that bad. But yeah, you don't want to be living on them.
In the same way that having the best shoes won't make just anyone a great basketball player, having a fancy and expensive model won't make you a popular VTuber that people want to watch.
Or it's like owning a Lambo and then just getting your license. You're going to crash into something. You don't know how to control that thing.
At least, not right away. Money won't solve the problem. It's just a band-aid that'll peel off and run out. Solving the problem means
idea.
treating the root cause, which is ultimately you. Think of it this way. A nice model can potentially multiply your success tenfold, but 10 multiplied by 0 is still 0. In the words of Blue Lock's Jinpachi Ego, you first have to turn that 0 into 1. Being a VTuber, streamer, and content creator is a skill like any other. And to improve at any skill, you have to practice, study, and put the hours in, right?
Yep. Practice makes perfect. That's why they say it.
Drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour.
So let me lend you a helping
That's a bomb.
hand. Here's a few things that you can do to start. Practice yapping. Keep talking to stream and leave as little dead air as possible.
I have trouble with this point because good video, by the way. I think okay, so you should have meaning behind your words. And I think if you have something to offer to people, and there's a good reason for speaking, that you should do so. But if it's just mindless speaking, people tune out, and I tune out as well. So yeah, I wouldn't practice yapping, but embrace the silence when you can in spots. I think that's kind of a lost skill. But again, say something if you have something valuable to share. Now let me stop yapping.
Respond to chat as much as you can. This is how you
Talk to your people. Otherwise they're going to leave.
build a community. Get a presence outside of Twitch. Make clips, post tweets, make
Yeah.
videos. This will help get
Yeah, that's good because Twitch have even said themselves that the way to grow on Twitch is to go to other platforms and migrate people over. Twitch is no longer the #1 spot for streaming. YouTube is. #2 is Green Site. You know the name of that one. They love to gamble. And then number 3 would actually be TikTok of all places. So you might check into TikTok a little bit. Then it's pretty cool.
Your name out there. But before you commit yourself to being the next Iron Mouse or the next Kenji, it would be a disservice if I don't slap you
Why would I want to be Kenji? Okay, all right.
with a wet fish of reality. To reach their level, you need to be the top 1% of the top 1%. So unless you're willing to dedicate every fiber of your being, every hour in your day, and every space of your thought in your head to become exactly that, then you likely just won't make it. That's just statistics and probability.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
And blowing up once or twice isn't gonna be enough either. All that'll do is just make you internet famous for like, what, a week?
Yeah, you'd be better off if you had a actual audience that like was consistent rather than just a burst of views. That just doesn't really go anywhere. People just laugh and then leave. So yeah, that's about it.
If even that. If you don't give people a reason to care past the content that made you blow up, then people will just forget about you and you'll disappear into the shadows of obscurity. But the thing is, you don't need to reach that level to be considered successful. If you want to make this your full-time job and earn a living off it, then that's still in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, it's very doable, but that shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be, I enjoy doing this. And then if you get paid, cool.
Without needing to become the top 1% of the top 1%. Is it gonna be hard? Yeah, it's still gonna be really hard. But you can just stop worrying about it so much. Stop getting into VTubing thinking you're gonna be the next viral sensation and become a millionaire. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you're just not gonna become that. So I want you to shift that mindset into something more like this. Be a VTuber because it's fun and because it brings you fulfillment. Stop focusing on the outcome
True.
of money and fame so much.
Otherwise, you're going to go crazy. And you don't want to be crazy. Yeah.
The outcome is simply the natural result of the work that you put in, mixed with a bit of luck. You put in work, you're gonna get shit results.
That's what happens. I am a very big believer of that. If you do good work, you're going to get good results. But if you do crap, well, expect crap.
No luck is gonna save you there. Look, this isn't an easy field to be in. You're gonna be tested in ways you never even thought about. So be prepared and most importantly, have fun doing it. With 2 lessons out of the way, let me give you one last practical lesson that for some reason, nobody really teaches you about as a VTuber. And that is how to properly request commissions.
Well, I appreciate that, but I think we'll stop right here in the video for this portion. If you'd like to go finish the rest of this video, I'll have that link down below, and I encourage you go ahead and check that out because he's got some good points. I like his content. Give him a sub, give him a like, all that good stuff. But yeah, we'll talk about a couple points that I want to mention before leaving. Hang on a sec. Okay, so this was a really good video that I enjoyed, but I had some points that I'd like to share with you that I caught, and you know, maybe you can use it in your content if you like. So the 3 points that I found were, the first of all, debuts are expensive. So if you simply just can't afford a debut, don't worry about it. Don't do it. Don't feel like you have to do it because that's what everybody does and that's what it is to be a VTuber and to be successful. No, you don't have to do a debut. And if you do choose to do a debut, well, then good for you. But make sure that you have an already established audience and you have a lot of content that they can come and consume beforehand, because otherwise people just don't stick around. And then the third point, have realistic expectations of a debut. It doesn't equal instant success and fame for you as a VTuber. No, it's gonna take some work and some time. So the debut is just the beginning. It's supposed to be an introductory thing saying, this is who I am and this is what I do. And so if you have that kind of an attitude, a focus on it, well then you're better off and can enjoy your debut and move forward with content and hopefully an excellent community backing you. If you enjoyed this video, consider following and giving it a like as it helps me out a ton. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And as always, let your imagination flow freely. I'll see you.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. Here's another one to the left. From Free Flow. That's hard to say. Free Flow. Yeah. Or you could just stay here and hang out with me. Don't know why.